Hello and welcome. I am the Restless Kaiser and I am over here.
Hi, I'm Ashley and I'm over here.
And together we are Modelling for Advantage.
We'll get that. I'll get that.
First time on the channel, Ashley. Give the guys a wave.
Hello there.
So, Ashley, you play Underworlds a bit more seriously than I do. You've been to like tournaments and things.
Yes, no sort of high level Warhammer World or anything like that.
Just some local stuff.
Yeah, just the sort of the game day sort of things that they do. But yeah, definitely give it a good go. But yeah, we're looking to see how it goes today.
Yeah, all right. So for the benefit of the viewers at home, then you've brought the very steampunk dwarves. They look fresh out of the packet. Is this a Christmas present to yourself, Ashley?
I wish it was. I would say that was more of my earlier year purchase and just reluctantly left them in the box.
But they're finally out.
Yes.
So what's this warband called?
So they're referred to as Thundrik's Profiteers. It follows Bjorn Thundrik, who is the leader of the Profiteers in this case.
Is that this guy?
Yes, that is this one here.
So the big balloony guy is not actually in charge?
No.
He's just the coolest?
He is one of the lethal units of this warband. Many times I've been mistaken not to kill him first.
Right. So you played against these guys, but you never played with them?
Multiple times, yeah.
Right.
They're a warband to fear sometimes, definitely. They're obviously, when these are all range-based units for a change, the first one they did was the Fast Riders, which were one of the sort of I can't remember what they're called now.
Stormcast?
Stormcast, yeah.
The Stormcast with bows and dicky birds?
Yes, however, they weren't the best close, long-range units. When they started introducing more long-range units because of spell casting, these ones got a lot better over time. And then you've got characters like Lund, who is surprisingly looks quite harmless to begin with, but I know late game with the right combinations he becomes a one-hit kill.
Right, with the kind of upgrades and
he becomes quite horrible. And again, then I thought Balloon was the worst one, and then Lund became the worst one. So.
Well, I've got all that to look forward to, I guess. And I'm playing the Cursebreakers.
Yes.
I have put a little bit of paint on these guys in the hope, because I realised last time when I was editing the video, it was really difficult to tell the difference. All kind of staff and sword. Hopefully that makes a little bit of difference. So we'll see. So actually, you know this game a lot better than I do. There's some concessions we're making to the camera. We're not doing any wild board arrangements so that you can get nice clear shots of it. So shall we make a start?
Yeah, so I mean we've done board placements. Normally we would roll off to see who would go first, but in this case we can determine who would be at least the first person to lay objectives down, because objectives is the next.
So we roll.
It's generally 4 dice. I normally go for the 2 attack and 2 defense because we're looking for the main symbols, which is the crit symbol, support 1, support 2.
Pair of crits.
So, very nicely, you have won this roll-off. So,
it's nice and clean, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
So, having won that roll-off, what do I get for that?
So, generally, in this roll-off, at this point, I would have placed my board first, and then you would have messed with it. So, as we're doing this back.
Well, handily, I would have placed mine perfectly in alignment to that.
I would happily do it in this case. I'm ranged, but I want to make sure I can get my shots in. Starting with that player who placed their board first, they actually will start placing the objectives first, which means you get less objectives to place, but it's the slight advantage on that point. So the general ruling of the objective tiles is they can be placed mostly anywhere in the board that's not an edge hex or on a starting hex or a lethal hex, and they need to be.
This is an edge hex.
Yes,
and this is an edge hex.
That is correct. Yeah,
because it's the first full hex near the edge. Yeah. I think we've got that a bit wrong in some of our games.
The only time that comes into play is the last place objective, where it can actually be placed on an edge hex, and it can be placed in no man's land.
Right, so I'll take one of these objectives and I place it anywhere not on an edge hex. So I am going to place it here.
Yep, perfect. So I'll place my second one, and I'm going to keep it within the 2 space ruling, and I'll place it there.
There doesn't have to be 2 in between. It only has to be 1.
Yeah, as long as it's the second one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the last one can be placed anywhere. So
you're going to shove it in the corner and put a wimp on it, aren't you?
See, depends on the sort of unit I'm playing. If I was playing my Magor's Fiends, I'm quite an aggressive unit. So actually, I like to end up forcing the extra one actually in my opponent's zone, because
that's where you're going to be.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's harder having units back. So more in this case, I would say actually more of their is a better location for me to be.
Using that, I can go on an edge hex. So now we reveal them and look at the numbers, do we?
We certainly do.
Okay. So I've got 1 and 4
so
over here.
Close to having 1, 2, and 3.
Is that something you're going to have a card for, perhaps?
No, because I don't really. The whole objectives are, I feel, a bit of a loose cannon, because I mean it's very much situational where you can bank so much of having all of them, and it's just like, oh, when you see it's in your opponent's zone, they put it right at the back. It's like this unit,
and then when the board's gone long,
yeah. You can sit there and just go,
yeah. Okay. So that's that bit.
Yes. So now we will start looking at our objectives and our power cards. So we draw 3 objectives.
Okay. Would you like to cop my objective deck?
Oh yes. So we'll vice versa. Sorry.
Oh, right, okay. And then we take 3 golden cards.
Only downside with these sleeves is that the fact is they're not cut properly for the cards.
Oh, they're not? And there's a legit...
Yes, they are the legit Games Workshop sleeves, and they slightly poke out.
That is terrible.
It's correct. So the rulings with the objective cards, especially at the beginning of the game, is the games are quite quick in general. So not always the cards in your hand are going to be great for the first sort of phase in this.
Yes.
Generally, if you...
Oh, you can mulligan, can't you?
You can mulligan, and it is a open mulligan that you can do once. So you discard the cards, and generally you name which cards you're discarding, so you can tell your opponent, oh, there you go, here's a bit of insight into what they're playing. In this case, I am going to stick with my hand because it is possibly achievable.
Oh, I think I might mulligan, actually.
Okay, and so what we...
Because one of them was hold objective 2. Which is a card I definitely don't want.
Again, your guys are quite tanky enough to take a bit of a chance to run in there. Like I said, they've got 4 wounds and a nice shield defense, which is 2 out of 6 on the dice, and with the crit as well, that's half the chance of always saving them.
Right. Okay. So there's this, and then
we are to the power cards.
And how many of these do we have?
We draw 5 of those.
Okay.
All right then. So if you're happy with that, then it comes down to the second, I would say, let's put roll off. And this is for miniature placement. So I mean, at this point, it's not going to really... Okay, so you win with the support 1 and 2 on that one.
Okay.
My roll's slightly still terrible. So you can choose which player will place miniatures first. At this point, there is a ruling, so whoever places all their miniatures first will score a automatic crit in the roll-off for 10
3 to 5 means I get that either way, don't I?
You get it either way, so you can...
So I'll let you place the first miniature.
Okay then, so choices.
So are these are impassable and this is lethal, is that right?
Yeah, so the impassable ones is obviously you can't walk through it. It does actually block line of sight in some situations, so if your model is hiding behind here, handball's there, it would be impairing of line of sight. And lethal hexes, when a model enters the zone, they will take a damage once they enter it. So it can be through things such as knockback or push, or just generally if you want to run through it.
Righty ho.
Okay, so I'm going to start off then with the Garrod Arleson, and he will find himself there.
I'm going to take Rastus and place Rastus here.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the Deadeye Lunds, and I'm going to find him a suitable placement there.
I will place Amis here.
Oh, very nice opening line of... Yeah, go on then. We'll get the Kazgan Draxua. It's got quite a fun name, and we'll get him poised and ready over here.
Does that balloon give him a lot of mobility by any chance?
He's the only one with movement of 4. The rest of the guys don't.
Movement of 4?
Yeah, the rest of it 2.
And Averon will go here.
Okay, then.
Here. Oh, I'll go there.
Okay, then. So let's wrap up the team. So I will put the Gorgon Thundrik in the middle, and I will finish up with Enric Irontail. Let's get in there.
This is an interesting board.
It's a very nice board.
I was not paying enough attention to what you were doing, so you get yourself a nice little gun line there.
Yeah, nice little gun line and nice supportive units just in case for any immediate charges. So you automatically have scored a crit.
So it's 4 dice again.
4 dice again. You are automatically succeeding already. So
I've just got the 1 support and 1 crit.
So I have 1 crit to beat yours. However,
I get 1 crit for free though, don't I?
Yes, so that cancels out. But you have 2 support 1s, which means you beat me on the roll again.
Okie dokie.
So, would you like to take the first activation, or
would I like to take the first activation though?
Yeah.
You shoot.
I do shoot.
But I think I want you to take the first activation. I may come to regret this. I've just dropped a cart down here. Sorry if the chair squeaks. While I...
Ooh, there's choices now. Got to think of actually what I'd like to do.
I'm playing this warband because I realised when I played the Brarkwings, it was too much brain power required to think about all the different options. Yeah. I felt these were nice and straightforward.
Yeah, it's different. So playing the Mogul Sphinx is just 4 characters that just want to get right into close combat, and that's it. And that's just, can't spend most of my turn just charge. So I think for a first activation, I'm just going to play it, I say, relatively safe, and I'm going to move the Enric Ironhail 2 spaces onto objective 2, and he will claim himself a move token to signify that he has moved for the turn. So until the end of our 4 activations of this phase 1, he will not be able to move again.
So we can now play gambits.
Yes, so starting with the player who started their turn, it will be me playing a card, then effectively you, and we'll so on and so forth until we both decide that we're ready to move on to the next player's turn. And I'm happy not to play anything this turn.
So, Rastus will try to empower himself.
Okay. That's a crit, so he succeeds.
Rastus is inspired.
Yes.
And he is empowered. If the spell is cast, reroll 1 attack dice each time this fighter makes an attack action until the end of the phase.
Yep, that's good for him. Okay, so again, power cards. Anything that you would like to play at all?
Not at this stage.
Okay. All right then. So I am just going to move straight into my second activation. So I'm going to make a charge attack with Deadeye Lund, which he will advance 1 space and gain himself the charge token. So after he's made this activation this turn, I may not activate him again for the rest of the phase, which he will try to use his Aether Shot rifle and hit, I think that's Amis.
That is Amis, yes.
Yeah, so he will be rolling on 2 dice. I'm looking for hammers to succeed on the attack.
Yeah.
And I do not succeed at all.
So that was that.
Bang, and nothing. Right. I will not continue on.
Now then, do I want to... We've got 2 more activations.
Yep. And thus begins the the multiple thought process.
There's too much thinking to do. Here's 3. I think Amis.
Yep.
Will inspire, or will try to.
Okay, so empowering as well.
No. I need the lightning bolts.
So that is an activation.
Second activation.
Okay. I think what we we get Thundrik, and we're going to also move him as well. So it's nice and encased between two impassable hexes as well.
This guy is which one?
He is the Garrod Arneson. So he's a 2 wound, 2 movement little guy who runs around with his little privateer pistol and his little colour.
I think Rastus will charge this guy.
Yep.
Which is 3.
Yep.
And Rastus has 3 hammers. But he gets an extra dice because he empowered. Is that what it did?
He gets a reroll.
an extra attack.
Is it extra attack?
Reroll.
You get the roll.
Get a reroll. Yeah.
That's a charge token there.
So that is a nothing. Because he's on hammers. Ooh, I didn't expect that. The reroll gets me a 1. And he is cleave. So you don't defend on shield.
No, I do not.
So you take 2 damage, which I think might kill him.
He does kill the Iron Hail.
Glory! Take the glory.
Move that little movement there. Poor little guy.
So we can then...
Yeah, so in your turn now, if you have any upgrades with your glory, you may spend them to cast upgrades, which...
I will play Great Fortitude on Rastus.
Giving it +1 wounds.
+1 wound.
Making it, and then obviously flip the glory over.
Yeah.
Okay then.
That is now yours.
Well, let's flip that over because that was your third activation.
Yes, thank you.
No worries. Okay, I need to think what would be better for me on this one. Okay, so I'm going to spend my last activation, and I think I might as well make a charge. At this point, it doesn't really matter which one I go for, so I could go for the Arcanaut Cutter, which will allow me to roll 2 dice on hammers, or I can go for a range shot, but at this point I'm 1 away, so might as well go for the better chances of hammers.
Yeah.
So let's see how I go. So 2 successes.
I need a crit then, do I? And that was not it.
Sadly not. So that is 1 damage.
1 damage.
Yes, not a lot. But thanks to the general ruling, so if you succeed in the attack, you can push an enemy back if needed. Obviously, knockback 1 will allow you to push additional spaces further. So I will happily knock back and force Amis back. Oh, is it Rastus? Sorry, back 1 space.
Back 1. Yeah. Okay. So in my... this chap here.
Yeah, Lund.
Lund, which one's that?
He's the one at the bottom.
He's got 3 wounds.
He does have 3 wounds.
He's got 3 wounds. Amis.
Yep.
Is going to regret whatever decision I make. He can charge and shoot magic, can't he?
Correct. Yeah.
No. Amis is going to charge.
Yep.
And she's going to charge to here. She only moves 3 and attack this guy.
Lund, yep.
Lund. And she's going to take 3 swords.
Yep.
With her Tempest Blade.
Okay, so 1 success. Lund is a bit of a tanky guy, so he just needs his shields. He does not succeed. Support 1 would only count in if Amis in this case was here. Sadly, the Draxua is nowhere to be seen, so Lund will be taking 2 wounds.
And will be knocked back.
Ah.
Which was the main reason I did that. Was to get that knockback.
Which definitely does hurt me a bit.
Well, I assume you were going for supremacy from the way you were playing. So now we can play... So now we can play any gambits on this final activation.
Yes. So at this point we... Yep.
So I am going to play a gambit spell over on Rastus.
Yep.
Soul Drain. Which... Oh no, immediately after he's taken out of action. I'm not going to do that. I should have done that before.
Okay.
When he killed that guy, you could have cast the spell to get a wound back.
I see.
But he didn't have a point of damage at that point. Right.
What I'm going to do though is I will play Shadowed Step. So I get to choose a friendly fighter with no move or charge tokens and place them in an empty hex in no one's territory, and I place a move token next to them.
In no one's territory?
Yes, which is this middle line here.
Ah.
So I will place my Avid Draxua, but I don't have any move tokens to move on to, which is fine because at this point we're going to be clearing up the board anyway, so it should not be a problem. Okay then, so yeah, we got to the end of the phase, unless you want to play any more gambits yourself.
Well, we're about to draw back up, aren't we?
Yeah, so we start off with any...
Yeah, so in your turn I want to play the Gathering Storm, which is a persistent 1 electric.
Yes, you want to start that off then the next phase then.
Yes, but I want the card out of my hand before we draw back up.
Yes, you can cast that now then, so you can target someone to...
For the next spell your warband attempts to cast.
Yes. Yes, it means if you successfully cast it, it means you have a lightning bolt that you can then technically use to cast the spell.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't have to pick a model, it says warband.
Yes.
And it says this effect persists, presumably that's until I've cast the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just wanting it out of my hand so that when we draw back up.
Yeah,
so when we hit the, is it called the end step?
Yes. So at this point we start with objectives, so we'll decide if we've been able to score anything this phase. I haven't. And then we decide which ones we want to remove from our hands, and then we draw back up to 3. And then generally if you score objectives, then you can spend your glory on upgrades before you drawing up. Say if you've got leftover cards, you can kind of ditch them onto other things and then draw more back up, unless then you end up ditching more. So sadly I didn't score anything, but I am going to discard, keep chopping.
I'm going to discard, hold objective 3.
And I'm going to get rid of supremacy, which you were correct.
Yeah. And I'm going to discard.
I'll get myself 2 more.
Well, so then we draw back up, yeah?
Yep, we draw back up.
Okay. Can we discard gambits and then draw new ones as well?
Yep, same with those as well. So obviously if you score any objectives, you can obviously score them now. So at this point I'm going to get rid of rapid reload.
Get rid of disarming blow.
Sure, why not? Prize Vendetta.
Right, so then we move on to
our phase 2, which we will roll off again to see who will get first play.
Or the choice. I've only got a double support. You've got a crit there.
I have 2 at the moment, which will definitely allow me to see.
So do you get to choose?
I do get to choose. I can electively let you take the first action, but I think at this point we might need to
do some killing,
fight back a bit. Okay, so I'm going to start my first activation off, and I'm going to get Thundrik up there in close and personal.
Taking on Amis. Is that a move or a charge?
That is a charge.
That is a charge. This is where you tell me he does like 8 damage or something.
I wish. So, I'm going to... Well, at this point it doesn't really matter which one he uses because they're both the exact same. So what I will do then to make life easier, I will just choose that he's using his heavy instruments as he's next door to you. And he's going to try on 2 hammers to hit. And he does not. I'm not doing well. However, I will use his reaction though on his card. So use this after this fighter's activation. So in the next activation, enemy fighters treat hexes adjacent to this fighter, other than blocked hexes, as lethal. So at the moment, all these are now treated as lethal hexes.
Right, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's your leader?
Yep, that is Thundrik himself.
And he has...
4 wounds.
4 wounds?
Yep.
And when do you check lethal?
During your move, so anytime you do your movement in that turn.
If you move into it?
Yes.
So if I just stand still, I don't?
You are completely fine.
Okay, I think she'll just bash him on the head then. Yeah, I think she'll just bash him on the head.
Okay.
So she has 3 swords or 2 hammers. 3 swords.
Yep.
2 hammers has got knockback 1. I get to choose where you get knockback to, right?
It's normally within sort of the direction of where he is, so it would either be there, or going that way.
I can't knock him back to there?
No, it has to be in a more reasonable direction.
Okay. I'll go for 3 swords.
Yep. So 1 success.
1 success.
And a shield does block that. However, you do get to push back still.
I'll knock him back into a lethal hex.
Enemies treat as lethal. Enemy fighters treat hexes adjacent to the fighter as lethal.
Okay.
He's fine to the gases. That's
I'll push him there.
yeah, knocked him off the objective.
Presumably you can't push people into their own models.
No. If there's a designated space that they can go into, they will move into those spaces.
Okay.
Unless it is literally trapped, then they will take a wound because they can't go anywhere. Okay, so...
Balls.
Okay, so... I think sure, second activation then. Or do I want to play something still before? No, I will do. So second activation, I will charge with Kazgan. I'm going to move him over that way.
Yeah.
And using his range of free attack, I'm going to use my vulcanized pistol.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go with the thing. I say it's too late now because I've moved him. That's fine. Oh, 2 dice, not 3. So 2 dice looking for swords. That is a crit.
There's a crit there.
Fantastic.
Right, this is against Averon himself.
Yes.
Who's 1. But that's not a crit.
No.
So how much damage?
That is 1 damage.
Ow.
And I will shoot him back 1 that way.
Okay. In your turn, I will play my gambit if you're not doing any.
At the moment, I will not be. Yes, that's fine.
Oh no, I won't. I just realised that's garbage. Oh, this doesn't work. Okay, right. I've got an innate one. What's it, haven't I?
Okay, so what I'm going to try is I'm going to play Toxic Gases.
Okay.
So choose an enemy fighter. That fighter's player, you might need to make a choice. So in this case, I'm going to choose Rastus.
You're going to choose Rastus?
Yep.
Out here?
So so his choice is you can suffer a damage, or I can push that fighter up to 2 hexes.
Push him.
Okay then. So I'm going to push him 1, and the second one I'm going to push him that way.
Okay.
Yep.
Amis.
Yep.
Is going to make use of this card.
Yep.
And is going to inspire.
Is that the action?
She's going to cast Empower on herself, and she needs 1 lightning bolt, which she's got. Yep. And I think we have to use that. So.
Yep, definitely. So that'll be. Okay then. So my third activation. Nice and sweet in general. I'm going to just take a nice Aether-shot rifle with Lund, aiming it straight at Amis.
Okay.
So I will count as a second. So it's hammers on cleave. So I have
hammers and cleave.
Yes, he is a cleave.
Which one's Lund?
This guy here. He is a cleave.
Ooh, so I need a crit.
Yes. That's the wrong dice.
That's the wrong dice. Well, a crit still would have been a 6, so that's another point of damage, is it?
That is a point of damage.
But this is on, I said another, this is on, is it Amis?
Yes.
Yeah.
So and Amis. I don't get any special knockback because you got rid of my nice knockback guy, but I will continue to push back a bit further.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm pretty good there.
So I think we have got the lethal hex problem.
Lethal hex is now sorted.
Is it?
Yep. So it's the next activation. So obviously the. Because obviously you were then empowered.
Yeah. So this one is this one.
Yes.
And this one is this one.
Yep.
Right. I think for our next action, we're going to take a charge over here.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to make a reaction.
You're going to make a reaction?
Yes, so I'm going to play Stand and Shoot.
Stand and Shoot!
So plays after an enemy fighter's move action that is a part of a charge action. Choose a friendly fighter that is adjacent to them and make an attack action with that fighter that has a range of 3 or more.
So if this guy, if he has
it will be
adjacent to them.
Yes, it'll be Lund himself again.
Okay.
So he's going to take a opportunity of a pot shot. Sadly, the attack cannot drive back this. So it must target the enemy fighter, and that fighter cannot be driven back by this attack. So I can't cheat your charge completely by pushing you back. And I fail badly. Ouch.
So now then. We are going to hit, and we have got 3 hammers, and we do knockback 1.
Ouch.
Do I have to knock back?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
It is a choice.
Well, hopefully, you're dead if you take any damage.
I do, yes.
That is lots.
That is a lot. And
right, you can't beat that.
No, I cannot with my 1 dice, and I do not. So Lund is taking the fun.
Squish!
Bang.
That was a charge action. And right, so this one, Gambit spell reaction. Cast a spell after an attack action takes an enemy fighter out of action.
Yep.
If this spell is cast, remove 1 token from the fighter's card.
Spell attack. Was that correct? Well, that one, sorry.
No. After an attack action, or Gambit.
That's fine, yep.
If this spell is cast.
Right, it's a spell, yeah. So, yeah, that's perfect.
After an attack that takes an enemy fighter, if this spell is cast. from the caster's fighting card. So anybody can kill.
Yep.
And then after anybody dies, any one of my wizards can cast the spell.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think Averon will cast it then.
Yep.
Because he has 2 dice.
He does have 2 dice.
And he fluffs it.
Oh, which one was it? Oh, wait, I couldn't see the card. Sorry, that's one.
I need the swirly.
Oh, okay then. So yeah, yeah, and then that would have definitely inspired him as well.
But he didn't.
No, sadly not.
Because he fluffed it.
Oh,
what a lame wizard. So now you could do one.
I could, and I feel that I'm gonna potentially have to at this point. It might mean risking everything, but we have come back from worse. So I feel like I'm going. No, not going to. I'm not going to take risk. Nope.
Now I'll look at my objectives because it's your 4th activation now. Isn't it?
It is mine. Yes.
Yeah. So you do your 4th. Activation, which is only this guy that can act.
He's the only one that can, he's the only one that can actually activate his turn, which is a bit of a shame. So at this point, it's very much not leaving him in the lurch of.
I mean, Rastus coming over and killing him.
Yeah, I mean, I can just, even if I move 2 there, it means that Rastus cannot reach.
It does mean that Rastus cannot reach, and Rastus's plan was to go over there and kill him. With my 4th activation, that was absolutely what I wanted to do.
Which I would very much prefer not to be standing there in the way of Rastus. So that is my last activation for this round.
I am now going to activate Amis.
Yep.
And he is...
Amis cannot now.
Not Amis.
Oh,
Averon.
Averon, yep.
Averon is going to make a charge action over to objective 4.
Okay.
Because, you know, objective 4 seems interesting. I'm going to cast a spell on this guy. I have 2 magic dice.
Yep, so you need swirlies.
But I need swirlies rather than lightning bolts. Or a crit and a swirly.
So that is 2 successes. I mean, he does beat the swirl, but he does not beat the crit. So he'll take a wound.
Just the one.
And you do successfully inspire yourself. Yes.
Which means I'm going to magic for 2 damage next time.
Yes.
Now. Whoops.
So I do not get to play any gambits because there is nothing that's going to help.
I am going to spend a point of glory, and I am going to give... What's the name?
Amis?
Amis. An innate lightning bolt, which I think is a card I need to take out of my deck because I don't think it matters.
So the innate lightning bolt's generally quite good because it means that they automatically score a lightning on
But
spells.
I do swirly magic.
It's for the spell cards. It's mainly for if you're casting other spells that involve lightning bolts. It's an automatic success.
Yeah.
And for especially Amis and Rastus when they're only rolling 1 dice.
Yes.
It's a way to support them.
Yes.
I know in a Unbound Power, the last sort of kit they did for Nightvolt, they gave them innate hammer because apparently they need to succeed on hits as well as casting spells. Which I was like, oh, okay then. But generally these guys were definitely one of the top spellcasting warbands for quite a while actually, so you've definitely built them quite nicely already. Even using even with some of the base cards.
I've not scored any objectives, have we?
No, I'm going to definitely say I'm going to just be binning all mine because I cannot take the calculated risk or be fired up or combination strike. So I'm going to just go out on a limb and see what round 3 gives me.
I did hold objective 4.
You did, so you do get to score.
I do score hold objective 4, which gets me, what's it?
Yes, so do you have any more upgrades you would like to play before we move?
I do not.
Ooh.
I also need to reach down again. Oh, this sideboard where I've got these cards is...
In terms of my gambits, I'm discarding my 2 and I will draw for a full hand of 5.
Do we do objectives and then gambits?
Yes. So I've already done my 3 because I've been
that's
3.
That's
and then,
fine.
Oh,
So
no,
I
so I kept
drew
1.
1.
That is my mistake there. So I did not check.
And then I will do... So I'm guessing your warband really needs that early glory to make the shots do more than 1 damage.
It's not just that. I've not hit anything where I've been able to go, there we go, we're going for some glory, because I've not inspired anyone yet, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, how do you inspire?
So by scoring objectives.
By scoring objectives.
So I've very much put myself out. I think I took a few objectives because
if you'd have got supremacy in that first turn, it would have been very different.
No, because it would have only given me 1. It's per objective, so I've only inspired one of my guys.
Right.
Having Iron Hail taken out quite early as well, because I think what happens, I took at the end of your turn scoring then instead of the surges. I think that's where I went wrong.
Okay.
If I took the surges that say score immediately, then yeah, that's where you start racking up, because you can do like a shot and go, right, I've hit, so straight away scoring this immediately and things like that. So it is that is not a problem, because
so we need to get these markers off. One of those is yours, I think.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, there was one here.
Yeah,
I just passed over. That's fine. And there's one there.
Yes.
So I've got an unspent doofer,
which you can definitely use.
But it's after I drew.
No, so before you draw. So if you had, so when you scored your objectives, if there was any upgrades in your hand, which
there weren't.
Yeah, so it's now it'll be on your next actual play that you can do it. Yeah. So third phase,
third and final round.
Yes. So nothing. 2 support 2, so you are definitely winning that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I can't help but feel that I should go first before you start killing me.
Again, I wish.
So, or before you move out of range and all that kind of stuff. So, Stormsire inspired.
Yep.
He's going to do his magical attack over here, because it now does 2 damage.
It does.
I'm on swirlies though, but I can just stand still.
So it's a crit. Oh, this is where I needed that crit to stop this. Yes,
you got one.
Oh,
now I have. Players have the friendly fighter's attack action fails. You can immediately do it again.
Yep. Not one on here.
I've had this for a while, and that was just 1 success.
Come on. No. He's taking 2.
And that is 2 damage. He's only got 3 hit points. Way! So there's a glory for that. And then I had harness the storm, score immediately if a friendly fighter casts a spell.
Saying that, I do actually have something.
If one of your guys dies, gonna...
Yes, score this immediately if the first fighter taken out in action this round is a friendly fighter.
Oh, right.
So I will play Martyred.
That is a heck of a way to score points, isn't it?
And thankfully, because I successfully scored, I think I will make Mr. Thundrik himself inspire, because he has lost...
Oh, they inspire whenever you score...
Yes.
Right, yes. I thought you meant they had to hold objectives.
No, scoring
objective card.
Yes.
Right,
and thanks to the surge ability, I get to draw another one as a score immediately.
And do I get to do the same?
You do as well, yes.
Yeah, you draw immediately.
Surges you draw immediately.
That's what surge.
Yeah. Well, it's referred to as surge now. Originally, it was just score immediately. I was like, oh, okay.
Right, but this is definitely after what just happened, because I just got one that says kill somebody and gain a doofer. Right, so are we spending upgrades? I am going to use 1 glory to give the Stormsire inspired Tempest Mites plus 1 damage to spell actions.
Yep, that's very nice.
I'm going to spend another one.
Well, so after that one, I will...
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, that's no problem. So I'm going to spend mine, and I'm going to put a attachment called Spirit Bond on...
Spirit Bond?
Yes.
Oh, so, you've got 5 hit points now.
Yeah, he's a tough boy when he gets upgraded. So when I apply this upgrade, I choose a friendly fighter. Other than the one who receives this upgrade, while the fighter you choose is on the battlefield, they are always considered supporting this fighter. So if I give it to Thundrik and choose Allison, as long as this is on the battlefield, he's always considered support in Thundrik in his attacks.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So it's a way to say, cool, I'm going to try and boost my success chances.
Alright, so I used another glory to put the lightning whip. After this fighter's attack succeeds, deal 1 additional damage, and that can go on Rastus and Amis. So given you've got 5 and 2, I think we should put this on.
Just letting you know as well that with Thundrik as well inspired, he's now got cleave on his gun.
He's got cleave on his gun?
Yes, he is ready to start hitting some heavy damage.
Ooh. Right, and I've given it to Rastus.
Yep.
We now draw cards, right?
No, that we do not. It's an action itself in the game to choose to draw a power card, or you can discard a objective to draw a new one. There are additional actions that you can take in the
No, I mean gambits.
No, gambits are already done in your end step.
That's what we're doing now, isn't it? We just scored.
No, this is this is.
Oh, this was a surge as a result of the last action, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, we scored several objectives.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I finally scored my first from something my own team dying.
Yeah, this was just the very first action of the game.
If that marker was in my opening hand, that would just change the course of it, because I would have gone, Iron Hand died, Lund, get your crit going, because Lund's pretty nasty when he gets 2 damage on a cleave. And he's free movement and 4 wounds. He gets stronger.
Yes.
That's the problem. I sit there going, I really need to inspire my team quickly. But I don't think I've got the best choices. So, I'm going to take this opportunity, and I am using my first activation and simply just going to go heavy into Amis, because she deserves it.
She does deserve it.
They've done nothing but defeat the poor dwarf so far, taken 3 of our best fighters out.
Yeah.
And I think Thundrik wants some just desserts on this. So he's going to use his atmospheric atomizer now, and range of 3, still 2 dice on hammers, but it does 2 damage now on cleave. So let's get that damage in. So that is a crit and a hammer. So that is
going through.
That is going to be going through.
Because she only has 1. You do 2 damage.
I'll be doing 2 damage, and it will also, it'll be cleaving. So, what I'm going to be doing though is a headshot. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter scores a critical hit with an attack action with a range 3 or more. And steady aim. Score this immediately when a friendly fighter's attack roll includes only successes. Yep. So, and this is where it starts, right at the very end.
Yeah, so you got two glory out.
So there. I gain 2 glory.
And you get 2 replacement cards.
And I'll get 2 replacement cards. And I will also push back 1 as well. So, and going into such a fantastic situation as well, when we go to our power step, I will play Encroaching Shadow. So choose an enemy fighter in an edge hex and they suffer damage.
Right.
Which, if I'm correct,
that's an edge hex.
Yep.
Yep. And she's only got 4 wounds.
First blood.
And this
finally on our side.
Storm doesn't help, so she dies, which scores you a glory.
It does.
Well, that's really changed things up, Ashley. It does. It was 5 to 0, and then suddenly
it really does. And I forgot. Sorry, because I have scored multiple objectives, I did forget to do my last inspiration. So yeah, because that would have, let's say, because obviously Martin was on the Borgian, and doesn't matter, headshot or steady aim would have inspired Alison in this case. Sadly, none of the others get to experience it, but this is the comeback.
The comeback.
This is the comeback.
Oh, I've got problems now.
Oh, and as a reaction, he might as well do his little gas.
And he can do that thing.
Yeah, he can do. Yeah, and that was just keep him going.
Okay. Well. Tell me about drawing cards as an action.
Yep, so for an action you can literally just draw a power card, and that is the whole action spent.
One of these?
Yep. Or you can discard an objective to draw an objective.
because that's kind of where I am at the moment.
Sometimes it is. I mean, I know a lot of the spellcasting units, like Eyes of the Nine. I've spent many games where they've spent the whole first phase, when they're sat at the back of the board, just going, just gonna draw a power card, draw a power card, draw a power card, draw a power card, and then just go, we have all the cards that we can start casting.
I think I need to draw one of these.
Okay.
As my second action.
Yep. Okay. So.
I've got a piece of equipment that I missed.
Don't worry, I had at the very beginning the rapid reload for Iron Hail, which is the one where he makes a shot, he can make another one, like a volley gun. Which I was sitting there going, yep, that's the first one went down. I'm not going to see that. Okay, so with your Gambit phase, if you're not going to play anything, I'm going to try and sneakily just go with Seek the Sky Vessel, which I can choose up to 2 friendly fighters and make move actions with each of them.
Okay.
So they've both got movements of 3 now, thanks to the...
But if they make a move action, then they've moved.
They've moved, yes. However, I'm doing it not in my turn, though, which means I can move myself so I can then sit there for the next 3 turns shooting you.
Oh, because move doesn't stop you from fighting,
No,
it stops you from...
Charging stops completely.
Yeah.
Which, in this case, I will happily move closer to you so I can then happily shoot you multiple times, in this case. So I'm going to go 1, 2... I'm in range of 3 and I can just sit there and just shoot crazy. Because I'm in 3. And then with Arneson, I will go 3. So yes, they both will receive move tokens. If there is nothing else, I'm going to start taking some major risks now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now play Haymaker. So I now get +2 dice for the first attack action made by a friendly fighter in the next activation.
Yeah.
You cannot make defense rolls for this fighter now until basically this effect now persists until this fighter is now out of action,
right?
Or until the end of the round. So whichever happens first. And that will be all. And I'm going to go into this next activation. Mr. Thundrik himself is going to continue the ever-charging damage itself. He's going to be shooting at your war leader this time. He's going to try and hit.
And I don't get to make any defense rolls?
No, I don't make defense rolls now with my character.
Oh, right, but you get 2 extra dice.
I get 2 extra dice now, so I'm rolling 4 dice with a range of 3. Still 2 damage, but it's still just more power.
And you're on hammers.
Oh, I'm cleaving as well, so this is...
and you're cleaving.
Yes.
I have 2 defense dice, so I could conceivably
you could.
double crit.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, that's correct.
The black ones are the defense dice.
Well, at this point, it's still, they all count as crits. So your crit stops that, but not the second one. So, I'm going to score What's Armor. Scores immediately if a friendly fighter's attack with cleave succeeds. Which he did, as he's got cleave.
Right. And you did a point of damage?
It'll be 2 points.
2 points of damage. Right. Okay.
And yep, 2 points of damage. I won't knock you back because I want you there. And yeah, that is my second action of this turn. Very nice roll for that.
So
I'll leave that on there because it's...
We've only got 2 more activations.
Ooh. Yep.
I think Rastus is going to have to... Oh. You can't get any nearer. Rastus better charge then.
Yep.
And Rastus has 3 hammers.
Yep. 2 successes, and I do get a crit, but it's not enough. How many damage?
How many damage?
Oops.
It is 2 + 1.
Oh, wow. That is a dead, sadly dead dwarf again.
Now, in terms of scoring, so I'll get 1 glory for the kill.
Yes.
Did he have 3 hit points?
He did have 3 hit points.
Score this if you deal exactly enough damage to take them out. So that's another one. And is that's immediate, is it?
Yep.
So I get to draw another card.
You do get to draw another one.
And that was my 3rd action.
Yep. So I will spend my 3rd action and
shoot Amis. Shoot the Stormsire.
Yes.
Presumably.
Yeah.
He's only got 1 hit point.
He has, and taking him out means that I put myself in a better precarious situation. So let's go for it. So he does succeed with one cleave at the moment.
1 cleave.
Yep. So that is
I do
not
not have a crit.
So that
I
will
am down.
Boom. Okay, that is helpful. We are
in my final activation.
Yeah, I finally have got myself in a better location. It's a 1v1 now.
I will trash this to gain this. This is my final action.
Yep. Right, so my last one. It's just going to be a nice simple, I'll get the nice dramatic pose.
Yeah.
He's going to try and just...
do 4 damage somehow.
I don't need to do 4 damage. I kind of really want this to fail. And I don't. He's just going for it. He wants it. So that is 2 successes with his cleave.
Yeah.
Which saddens me the most, but that is fine.
So 2 damage.
2 damage, and just because there's nothing else we can do, just for the hell of it,
You'll knock me back.
I'm going to knock you back 1, just to say, nope. Yeah, Haymaker did its job, which is great. I put him in a very vulnerable position, but, you know, especially he's on 2 defense dice there. So I'm very much sacrificing some high chances to save him, but because of the cleave and the range of the damage that he can output with that thing, it's that opportunity, and with a couple of models in the field, I was like, yeah, we've got a hit in there. With 5 wounds, it's going to take a couple of hits to get him down. So, thankfully, Haymaker, you are MVP of that phase in this case. But yes, so now we go to...
End scoring.
End scoring.
So end scoring then.
Yep. So this is the wording that I get confused with. So I've got this card that says score in an end phase if I did not discard any objective cards in the preceding action phase. Effectively, these are the action phases that we have.
That was an action phase.
Yes. So yeah, this is the whole action phase. So actually, yeah. So I get the ability live by the code then. So I score this in the end phase if I did not discard any objective cards in the preceding action phase. If I do, I cannot discard any objective cards in this end phase, which is fair enough because obviously we're in the end phase where we can't discard anything.
Yep. So you score 1 glory for that?
I do score a glory for this. Do you score anything?
I picked up Supremacy on the last turn when I've only got 1 model left. Devastating Blow and Blessed Management. None of these can be scored.
No, because Supremacy has to be thingy.
Yeah.
However, I do get Sound Finances. So score this in end phase if I have 5 or more unspent glory. I've got 6. So I also score an additional 2.
Wow, look at that then, because all this game it was looking really grim for you, and in the end you have
just squeezed
not
it.
just you've surged ahead, mate. I just dropped a glory on the floor. You surged ahead because I'm on 7,
9,
and you're on 9.
So literally,
thank you for the game, Ash.
It was very close. The last one was warning shot. I needed to fail.
Oh right,
I wanted to fail. But
yeah.
At that point, he was nope.
Wow, that was an interesting game.
Yeah.
Really played out.
Yeah, definitely.
Real late bloomer. I mean, you went into round 2 with no glory.
I went into...
And I'd won.
Yes. Yeah, we went... And you scored your second glory within literally that first turn as well. that first action, and it was just like, right, yeah, because I started off with everything scoring in the end phase, and I completely looked at this team completely differently, because I was thinking, we don't have to be aggressive, we can hold it back. I saw Supremacy, I was like, fantastic, we can hold back, let you come to me, and your opening position, especially being in these two positions, especially with the tankiness of these guys, very much does put that sort of,
Well, I felt you had guys which were late game powerful, but only had 2 wounds.
Yes.
Because I want to kill these before they start kicking out proper damage.
It's actually just Iron Hail, if anything, because Iron Hail is the only one that starts on 2, but then when he inspires, very much becomes the bit of the better one, because when he inspires, he rolls 4 dice. So he goes from the initial 3 dice to 4, with knockback 1. And then when you give him the upgrade for rapid reload, he's doing 8 dice, 2 damage, effectively, on 1 shot.
Yeah.
And he just sits there just chaining away.
Yeah.
And you can put upgrades on him as well, like Glory Hunter, which is very good against any warband that starts having models with like 4 wounds on top, because then +1 damage to any character with a wound characteristic of 4 or more.
Which is all of these guys.
Yeah, which
absolutely
most warbands are now. So
yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. I like this warband because of its very low model count. It's a lot easier on my brain while I'm still learning the game.
Yeah.
And I'm still staring at the cards every turn thinking, oh, there's too many options here. I will not be rushing to play a 7 model warband again.
I honestly say, for the amount of games you've played, you've definitely got a knack for them already, these guys.
Yeah.
You've played them very much how... I've seen some players play them in tournaments. They are definitely a very versatile warband, and that's why for a good period of time when Night Vault was, I would say about mid-season, these were the top warband to be.
Oh, were they? That's not why I'm playing them.
No, because generally they were a full spellcasting unit. They were, all on shields. There were 4 wounds as well, so, most, Stormcast troops are always on 4 wounds. So having, again, some buff tanky wizards is never the best thing you want to hear. Things like Stormsire himself being 2 dice, when most general wizards most wizards in most armies now are just 1 dice.
Yeah.
And when they inspire, they get the 2nd dice.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only other faction I'd say spellcaster wise that's being played more now, because of how I would say they vary better on this side, is Yafani's Guardians, because Yafani herself is such a powerful wizard, but then you've got such other units that then really start playing up the board state, because you've got a unit that starts off with 2 defense dice value on their beginning card with a range of 2 and a glaive, and you're just sitting there going, this unit's really terrible, and you've terrified of him getting anywhere close combat as well, because he's your first thing, because you've got to get any cleave units in there early. There's one card I didn't get to use, which I was looking forward to.
All right.
It is Fameway Crystal, which is one.
Oh, that's got a lot of words on it. I avoid those kind of cards. So you play a lot of Magic, don't you?
Yes.
So you're not put off by the amount of words on there.
So Fameway Crystal is one of these cards that, for a close combat ranged troop, because I run this in Magors myself, it's one of these cards that say, even if your opponent kind of horizontally puts the board there,
oh, that is nice.
throw the objectives down there.
Don't move, just plop yourself on any objective you like that's empty.
However, that counts as a move action, which means charging does count with that as well. So if you, as you started with Amos there, I could have gone, cool, as my charge action, plop myself there, whack. And you can literally be at the very back of the board.
And this is equipment.
And that's equipment.
I thought that was a gambit. That's equipment.
It's an equipment itself, which is.
So the thing I really missed in this, if I was to have a look at the deck, was the ability to post move.
Yes.
I needed some sort of pushes or something. There were times when I felt I'm 4 away. I need to be 3 away. I definitely could do with a bit more of that.
The thing with these guys, I always look at them as they're very much a close combat unit still. They can just charge in there, take the hits, and the spells themselves are just an extra to go, cool, I've charged in that first half, hit a couple of guys, and then, I'm good in range to then start casting spells from here. Sadly, we didn't get a chance to see if you did elect any random...
Any scatter spells?
Scatter spells, yes.
Yeah, well, maybe next time I actually ignored the scatter spells when putting the deck together. I just used the basic cards.
I mean, even the base cards themselves, the deck proves just how good the warband is alone.
Yeah. All right, actually, well, maybe we'll get another game in the not too
definitely.
distant future. Thank you for that, and thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share or subscribe this video, and if you are buying new games or new miniatures, please consider following our affiliate link to Wayland Games. It gives us a little bit of kickback and helps fund other projects for the channel. Thank you for watching.